Welcome to The Explainer. Look, today we're skipping the theory. We're going to dive deep into a real-world software developer resume. We're going to break it down piece by piece to figure out exactly what makes it work, what makes it land that all-important first job.
All right, let's start with a number. Just one number. 6. 6 seconds. That's it. That is the average time a recruiter is going to spend on your resume the first time they look at it. You've got 6 seconds to make them stop and pay attention.
So, the big question is, how do you make every single one of those seconds count? Well, that's the whole challenge, right? And we're going to tackle it by looking at a fantastic case study. This is the resume of a software development fresher named Pritham Singh. Let's see how he pulls it off. Okay, so let's get right into it. Think of your resume like an argument you're making, and you need a really strong opening statement. The very first thing a recruiter lays eyes on is that summary, your opening pitch. And believe me, it sets the stage for absolutely everything else they're about to read.
And Prithim's summary? It's basically a perfect thesis statement for his entire resume. There's no vague fluff here. Right away, he lists his core tech stack. We're talking React, Node.js, and this is so important. He frames his experience around projects, not just classes he took. He's essentially saying, hey, here's what I can build, and I've got the receipts to prove it.
And that leads us perfectly into what is, without a doubt, the most critical section of any tech resume. This is where you stop making claims and you start showing proof. It's time to present the evidence. Okay, first up, let's check out his first major project. He calls it VideoTube. So right away, you get it. It's a full-stack video streaming platform. The name is clever, yeah, but the real magic is in how he breaks down what this thing actually does. Now, this is where it gets really smart. Look at how he translates a feature into a skill that a company wants to hire. He's not just saying, I built a comments section. No, he's showing that by building video uploads and comments, he's demonstrating his skills in back-end logic and API design. That's the connection. That is exactly what a hiring manager is looking for.
All right, next up, he's got another project, a full-blown e-commerce website. And this is important. It's not just another project for the sake of it. This one is designed to show off a completely different, but just as important, set of skills.
And this is just brilliant. Look at how this is laid out. It's a complete end-to-end system. You're seeing the whole journey, from the customer side of things, like adding to a cart or using PayPal, all the way to the back end, with an admin dashboard and even analytics. What this screams is, I don't just build features, I understand the entire product lifecycle. Oh, and you have to see this detail. For both of these pretty complex full-stack projects, he lists the duration as just 1 month each. Now that is not an accident. That little detail sends a huge signal. This person can build and deploy real applications, and they can do it fast. For any company working in agile sprints where speed is everything, that's a massive green flag. Okay, so let's shift gears to the skills section. This is a part of the resume that can so easily become just a messy laundry list of keywords, right? But here, you can see it's organized with a real purpose, and it builds directly on the proof we just saw in his projects.
And this is such a brilliant strategy. His skills aren't just dumped into one big pile. They're split into 2 groups. On one side, you've got the core fundamentals, your classic computer science stuff like data structures, algorithms, and SQL. On the other side, all the modern frameworks and libraries that companies are actually using today, like React and Node.js. It basically tells a recruiter, I've got the solid foundation, and I know how to use the latest and greatest tools to build with.
And finally, we've got the education section. Look, this part isn't the star of the show, not in a tech resume, but it's a super important supporting actor. It's clean, it's simple, and it shows a clear, consistent academic path that backs up all the skills and projects we just talked about. It kind of just ties everything together and answers that last little question, okay, so where'd this person come from?
All right, so we've completely deconstructed this resume. What does it all mean? What are the big takeaways here? More importantly, what are the principles that you can use to build your own killer resume?
Here's the bottom line. A truly great resume isn't just a list of facts. It's a story. It's a persuasive argument. And like we're seeing here, that means you need that clear, concise opening pitch. You've got to connect what you did in your projects to the actual skills a company wants to hire. You need to show that you've got both the fundamentals and the modern tools. It's all about building a case, with your projects as the evidence, that proves one simple thing: you can solve problems because you can build things.
So, we've seen exactly how all these different pieces, the summary, the project evidence, the organized skills list, they all work together to make a really powerful case.
and they do it in just a handful of seconds. This resume tells a very clear story. I am a capable, fast-learning builder. So now it's your turn to think. What story is your resume going to tell?